Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another Portage Daily Register Sports Webcast. We'll get to our thoughts on the Final Four, the men's basketball, NCAA men's basketball tournament a little later on. But first, Travis, one area team in the Final Four for girls basketball for the chance to get to state, Westfield. Travis, talk a little bit about how they got that chance.
Yeah, it's been a nice little tournament run for the Westfield girls as they finished the season up third place in the South Central Conference, but they've kind of got some redemption in the tournament here. The two teams ahead of them, Boston and Wisconsin Dells, just happened to be the two teams they had to beat to get to sectionals. Friday night they were in Boston and they beat the Golden Eagles 49-38, and it was a game where senior Hannah Mills kind of took over. She scored 21, and early on Westfield was behind, and then she just kind of took over, and then they kind of never trailed the rest of the way. And that set up a regional final game in Portage on Saturday against Wisconsin Dells, who's kind of been their nemesis for quite a few years, and they got revenge from two regular season losses against the Chiefs and beat them 30-23. And the key to this game really was kind of a zone defense that they played for the first time. One of the things that it did, I think, kind of quietly is it allowed them to sit back, and they playing the zone. They didn't foul. They only had 7 fouls the whole game, and because of that, no foul trouble. They never subbed once. 5 players played the entire game, which is pretty rare. So that allowed them to keep their best players on the floor, and they held the Dells to 23 points. And Janelle Weir, the sophomore post, was kind of the force in the middle of the zone, and she was also the mismatch on the offensive end that Westfield was able to take advantage of, and they won down the stretch. So congratulations to them. Nice little run. Now they're going to sectionals where it's going to get tougher.
Outstanding weekend for Westfield, like you said. Now on to sectionals, where Thursday night in Baraboo, 7 o'clock game, the Pioneers will play Prairie du Chien in like I said, Baraboo. If they win that game on Saturday afternoon in DeForest, they'll play the winner of Edgerton and Lakeside Lutheran. So I was up in Westfield, Travis, Tuesday morning after practice and talked to a few of the girls about last weekend and the upcoming tournament, and here's what they had to say about things. What are you guys doing well as a team right now that maybe you weren't doing as well earlier in the season that's kind of keyed things?
I think we're passing better. I think we're being more patient on offense, and our defense is solid. We play pretty good defense, but I think on our offensive side we're getting better there.
What do you remember most, or what's kind of the lasting memory image that stands out for you from Saturday when you guys won the regional championship?
The end of the game when our whole entire fans just went to the middle of the court and the Dells had to watch. It was the best.
And if you can imagine what Saturday would be like if you guys win both games to get to state, what do you think?
It'd be surprising and so much fun.
What will be the key against Prairie du Chien on Thursday?
Just to shut down their key players and be good on offense.
Certainly an exciting time and an exciting opportunity for Westfield. Travis, why don't you tell us a little bit about the teams, the sectional tournament here coming up?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup for Westfield Thursday. They're playing Prairie du Chien, and the two teams kind of have some similarities. They both took third in their conference. Westfield was third in the South Central, obviously. Prairie du Chien finished third in the Southwest Wisconsin Conference. And they only have one common opponent, and they both beat Viroqua. And ironically, it was almost by the identical score. They both beat them by 18 points, so maybe they're similar in that way. So we'll see if that equates to a close game. Prairie du Chien is led by junior Morgan Bananasic. I probably mispronounced that. But anyways, Morgan, she averages 17.8 a game, so she's definitely the girl that they got to kind of focus on. In the other half of the bracket, it's Edgerton, who's 21-3, and Lakeside Lutheran 18-6. So two really good teams. Prairie du Chien's 19-5, while Westfield's 15-10. So Westfield definitely has the most losses of any of the 4 teams left in the sectional. So if there was an underdog, it's clearly Westfield, but that doesn't really bother Coach Bradley much.
I think they realize they're the underdog, and I think it loosens things up a little bit. There's not that pressure that we're supposed to win this game. That's on Prairie. That's because they are supposed to win. Nobody's going to pick us. Nobody knew where we were, and so we're going out there and playing loose, and that helps sometimes. And yet, you want to play with emotion and play hard, but there's a little difference. I don't think there's that pressure. Nobody's going to be terribly disappointed if they get beat. but they just want to they want to show. I think the girls really want to show that they're better than what some people thought they were.
Hopefully that attitude pays off for Westfield on Thursday, and hopefully again for the Pioneers on Saturday. Meanwhile, Travis, Westfield was not the only area team playing in a regional final on Saturday. Rio also advanced to a Division V regional championship game against Waupun Central Wisconsin Christian. Things didn't really go Rio's way pretty much from the start, and it just, it really seemed like they struggled to get into any kind of offensive rhythm. Pretty much from midway through the second quarter through the end of the game, they trailed by about 10 points or more, and eventually lost 48-34. So for the Vikings, unfortunately, they weren't able to move on to the sectional tournament, but they still did have a really nice season, and especially, considering the night before in the regional semifinal, they were able to get a 40-34 win over conference rival Fall River, who shared the Southern Trailways Conference Championship. In that game on Friday night, Rio trailed at halftime, trailed 25-20 earlier, midway through the third quarter, and then they finished the game from there on a 20-9 run, and while holding Fall River to 3 of 27 shooting in the second half. So really just an impressive defensive effort. They were able to get the job done in the fourth quarter, get that win against Fall River, which had swept Rio in 2 regular season games. So even though the Vikings lost on Saturday, still kind of a nice, fitting way to finish the season with that redemptive victory over Fall River. Similar to Westfield, really, kind of getting some conference payback here at the end of the season. So, again, congratulations to both teams, Westfield and Rio, for nice seasons. Obviously, for Westfield, still going. Meanwhile, like we said, Travis, going to get to our Final Four picks. Go ahead and tell us who you got in the Final Four.
Yeah, my Final Four teams for the men's basketball tournament: Ohio State in the East, San Diego State in the West, Kansas in the Southwest, and Pittsburgh in the Southeast. And as much as it pains me to say it, I think the best team in the country is Ohio State, and they'll beat Kansas in the final.
We agree on one team for sure in the Final Four. I also have Ohio State. I have another Pittsburgh that you have in the Final Four. Ohio State and Pittsburgh, and a little bit of a surprise, Texas maybe. I think Texas has the athleticism to get by Duke. And then, Travis, I cannot decide between Louisville and Notre Dame. So instead of thinking this one through, I'm going to let you flip a coin here.
Yep.
Heads, it's Louisville, and tails, I'm going with Notre Dame.
All right. We got tails.
All right, go Irish. Until next week, everybody, take care.